Let's go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with action from Patriot Championship Wrestling. We are coming to you from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City with a big show. As first in line at the turnstile tonight, we have the solo promoter, Grant Bachoco. And not far behind is the number one fan of the Heartland, Neely Bob. Welcome to both of you for this evening's broadcast. Grant, I had the chance to watch your video earlier today about how this game becomes too much like work. When I do a broadcast like this, I can download the transcript and feed it into ChatGPT, and it generates my results write-up in the format that I have directed, that I can plug pretty much directly into the Filsinger Games message board. The same thing is true when I do my Wednesday night Heartland highlight reel, or Thursday night. Usually you'll notice that I do a detailed recap of matches that took place, and the reason I do that is so that that will be captured by the transcript so that I can put it onto ChatGPT and extract those results. So I've got that going for me, which is nice. I'm still doing a lot of manual tracking of match results and standings and scores. And rankings and heat ratings. And that is something that I have been looking to try and automate, but that takes a fair amount of time, and I am not a programmer per se, and so I've, occasionally will tool around with ChatGPT for some suggestions on how I might do that. But if I were a better programmer, I could track my rankings with AI just as easily as I produce my transcripts. So that is where we are. And gosh, the chat room is filling up with cool people left and right. Almost as cool as Grant and Neil. We've got referee James Lawrence, Slim Jim 1973. Congratulations to you, my friend, refereeing an NWA World Heavyweight Championship match. What a thrill that must have been. And congratulations to you. And congratulations to you, Grant, as well on your new gig. Looking forward to seeing more of your new endeavor. David Cheslinski here with us. Hello to you, my friend. Philip Reynolds, Praise Z Cruz. Good to be back in the Dave Cave. Alan Compolitano is with us. Blaine Shores is with us. Good evening to you, my friend. Captain Carl 8230, who has just gotten his Filsinger Games Legends of Wrestling promotion started. Barbara 113 and Bear 805. Everybody's here tonight. This is awesome. And Bear 805, we are thinking about you tonight in our main event, which will be for the Butcher Legacy Championship with Bob Orton Sr., the current champion, defending against Davey Boy Smith, selected by Bear 805, your 2026 West Coast Galactic Cup winner. Congratulations to you, my friend. Now, before we came to action, we did have some preliminary matches, which I will announce. Again, for purposes of being able to get these onto ChatGPT. A lot of my friends at work use Claude. I got started with ChatGPT, and so I haven't been inclined to change over to Claude yet. But if you're not a fan of ChatGPT, then there are alternatives out there. As I try to get the camera angles just right. So here we go. Claude is a popular one, and of course every Microsoft has their Copilot, et cetera, et cetera. I was able to see NWA last night and got to hold for a minute the 10 pounds of gold. Wow, what a thrill. So before we came to action, before we came on live, first of all, gosh, the first match tonight was a stunner. A stunner indeed. It was the debut match of the one and only Verne Gagne. And Verne Gagne faced off against Hercules Hernandez. And the winner of that match was Hercules Hernandez by way of disqualification. Do you believe it? Verne Gagne disqualified from his very first ever match in Heartland Championship Wrestling after a altercation with the referee. Verne Gagne got himself disqualified. A stunning turn of events here in New York City, with conspiracy theories running wild. Some blame Jim Ross for that, and Jim Ross, a position of authority here in Patriot Championship Wrestling, and Verne Gagne, of course, a Midwest guy. Others just blame Verne for his own sense of entitlement and his own arrogance that got him in trouble when he didn't like the way his match was being refereed. But the decision of the referee is final, and Verne Gagne goes down to defeat by way of disqualification in his Patriot Championship Wrestling debut. So congratulations, I suppose, to Hercules Hernandez. Hercules was putting up a pretty good match when those events went down, and that was the end of that. Tag team action was next. The team of Steve Kern and Bill Dundee taking on the debuting Rougeau brothers, Jacques and Raymond. And it was Bill Dundee getting the pinfall victory over Raymond Rougeau with the Superstar Bomb. Next up, Ken Patera with a big victory over Rowdy Roddy Piper with the swinging full Nelson. Patera's power on full display. And just before we came to air, another tag team match with another somewhat surprising outcome. Victorious by countout, the team of Stan the Man Stasiak and Dutch Savage with the victory over Bruno Sammartino and Antonino Rocca by way of a countout. Stasiak with a big vertical suplex on Rocca on the arena floor. Rocca could not recover in time for the 10 count, and that was that. Rocca did appear to suffer a injury to his hip as a result of that suplex onto the arena floor. And so your victors tonight, Stan Stasiak and Dutch Savage in tag team competition. And let's see, we've got some more information coming in from Neely Bob. A big surprise for his newest Velvet rep. Andre the Giant, I see, has won the tournament in Velvet to become the next challenger for the Butcher Legacy Championship. He'll face off with the winner of tonight's main event. Also, new men's heavyweight champion and intercontinental champion Scorpio Sky, your new heavyweight champion in Velvet Wrestling. All right, let's get started with tonight's live action. Your opening contest is scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This match is a singles matchup. Introducing first, out of Kansas City, Missouri, standing at 6'2", weighing 260 pounds, this is the Hacksaw Butch Reed. And his opponent hails from Marietta, Georgia. He stands at 5'11" and weighs 235 pounds. He is the Bullet, Bob Armstrong. So Bob Armstrong, Butch Reed, to square off in tonight's opening contest. Bob Armstrong, a Filsinger Games original, and the color card courtesy of Legends Prime 2018. Butch Reed, of course, from the recent 2024 expansion pack number 12. So these guys will square off. This is a qualifying match. The winner of this match will qualify for a number one contenders match for the Patriot Heavyweight Championship. We'll have more on the Patriot Championship later tonight as it has been the center of controversy. But these two men are ready to get started, and it is Bob Armstrong coming out with the opening initiative roll, and he is going to go right to a whip to the turnbuckle. Coming off the turnbuckle, Butch Reed grabs the arm of Bob Armstrong, reverses the whip into the turnbuckle, and as Armstrong comes off the turnbuckle, he is crushed by a big kick from Butch Reed. Butch Reed now in control, and he is going to go with another whip to the turnbuckle. These men starting things off with some turnbuckle action, and this time it is Armstrong on the reversal, and Butch Reed coming off the turnbuckle to eat a big kick from Bob Armstrong. So nothing resolved in that exchange. Armstrong now on the offensive. Oh, with a big knee lift. That stuns Butch Reed. Armstrong now in control with a whip to the ropes. Coming off the ropes now is Butch Reed. And on a roll of two, it is a sunset flip attempted by Armstrong. Butch Reed's got him in an inside cradle. He's going to go for the pinfall, and Armstrong forced to kick out. That's going to give Butch Reed the opportunity here to do some damage, and he is going to go for an overhead press slam. Look at those rippling muscles of Butch Reed as he slams Bob Armstrong down to the mat. Reed now maintains control with a big drop kick, but Bob Armstrong sidesteps the drop kick. And it is Armstrong coming back once again with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Butch Reed, and this time it is Armstrong with a big headbutt coming off of the turnbuckle, and Butch Reed coming off the ropes, and Butch Reed is down. Armstrong now, another big headbutt being attempted. This is a choice C maneuver, choice C. He'll need 6 or lower to hit this, and on a roll of 6, he nails the headbutt. He's going to go for a quick cover. The pin roll here is 3, and on a roll of 8, Butch Reed able to kick out. Armstrong now in control. And Armstrong now with a big vertical suplex, keeping Butch Reed down on the canvas. Armstrong is going to follow that up. Here's the Georgia Jawjacker. That's a +1 finish. The pin roll here is 5, and on a roll of 4, he got it. So Bob Armstrong gets the win in tonight's qualifying match over Butch Reed, and that will move Armstrong another peg closer to a shot at the Patriot Heavyweight Championship. Now, as you know, fans, the Patriot Heavyweight Championship has been a point of controversy here in Patriot Championship Wrestling. Kurt Angle is your current champion, reigning and defending with great pride. But coming up on the horizon, a title match has been earned by this man, Big Van Vader. Vader, of course, a very controversial figure. Recently, he and his former faction run by Percy Pringle III have taken a turn to the dark side, as it were. They kicked out Roddy Piper. Not only did they kick him out, but they beat the snot out of him. Vader and Mark Henry have stayed loyal to Percy Pringle, and they are now terrorizing Patriot Heavyweight Championship Wrestling. And Vader is in line for a title match, but that wasn't good enough for him. He got impatient, and Vader and Henry stormed the ring during a previous title defense by Kurt Angle against ILIO DIPAOLO. So tonight in grudge match action, tag team action, it will be Kurt Angle and the current #1 contender to the Patriot Heavyweight Championship, ILIO DIPAOLO. Angle and DIPAOLO joining forces to meet the team of Mark Henry and Big Van Vader in a no disqualification grudge match. So fans, introducing first, led to the ring by Percy Pringle III. From Silsbee, Texas, standing at 6'4", weighing 384 pounds, this is Mark Henry. And his tag team partner hails from the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, standing at 6'5", weighing 452 pounds. It is Big Van Vader. And that is over 800 pounds of beef in that ring. And it's going to take a man's man to stand up to the team of Mark Henry and Big Van Vader. We're going to give it a try with their opponents here tonight. First from Abruzzi, Italy. Standing at 6'2", weighing 255 pounds, it is ILIO DIPAOLO. And his tag team partner is your reigning Patriot Heavyweight Champion out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He stands at 6'2". He weighs 237 pounds. He is the Olympic gold medalist. This is Kurt Angle. So Kurt Angle, ILIO DIPAOLO, going to have their work cut out for them tonight against the massive team of Mark Henry and Big Van Vader in a tag team no disqualification action. And Angle, of course, standing up for his honor and for the honor of the Patriot Heavyweight Championship. But this is a risky situation indeed for Angle to be putting his neck at risk in seemingly a meaningless no disqualification tag team match. And his ride or die buddy, ILIO DIPAOLO, will be starting the match, moving out against Mark Henry. They come together in the center of the ring, and we've got shenanigans right from the get-go. Brought to you by ILIO DIPAOLO and the Face to the Mat Highlight Center booklet. This is a tag team match, and on a roll of 66, we're going to a highlight reel. This is where things really can get interesting. And now on a roll of 3-5, wrestler ILIO DIPAOLO disables opponent with an extremely painful move. And Mark Henry has been perhaps tried to launch a sneak attack on ILIO DIPAOLO. ILIO DIPAOLO caught him in a leg Nelson, and Henry is going to absorb a point of fatigue before the match even begins as a result of that failed sneak attack. ILIO DIPAOLO merciless with that leg Nelson move. Henry can barely get around on one leg, and now it is DIPAOLO who has got him up for the airplane spin. It looks more like a hip toss, but he's got him up over and down to the canvas. And he almost got the pin right there off of the get-go. Mark Henry already in trouble here, and perhaps ILIO softening him up for Kurt Angle to come in, as Angle is anxiously awaiting the tag. And he goes back to the airplane spin again. It looks more like a hip toss when it's performed on Mark Henry, but he goes for the cover. And on a roll of 8, Henry forced to kick out. And now Vader's coming into the ring, and trouble is going to start right here from the get-go. As Vader charges the ring, this is a no disqualification match, so anything can happen. No point in the referee trying to put Vader out of the ring. And as soon as my tag team interference chart comes up, my computer's running a little slow tonight. I hope I'm not having slow connection speeds or anything like that. So I do apologize if there are issues here. I see Mark Ferguson has joined us here at ringside. Cibernetico is the new Intercontinental Champion in Velvet, and yes, indeed, congratulations to Grant on his new commercial. All right, into the ring comes Big Van Vader, and on a roll of 5, Vader able to turn the tables as he clobbers ILIO DIPAOLO from behind, and that is going to give Mark Henry the opportunity to take advantage on level 3 offense. Henry now with DIPAOLO in trouble, and it is Henry going to attempt a second rope splash. This is a choice G maneuver. He can complete this with a death jump roll against a B. But on a roll of 2, that is the ref bump. Mark Henry attempting a splash off the second rope. Referee got in the middle of that, and the referee is down. So it's all about to break loose here. And right away, it is Angle and DIPAOLO in the ring, taking charge on Mark Henry and Big Van Vader, as Angle dumps Vader out of the ring and over the top rope. Vader charged Angle. Angle dropped down, pulled the top rope down, sending Vader over the top rope and down to the arena floor. And Now ILIO DIPAOLO back in charge, and he's got the airplane spin again. There's no referee here to count the pinfall, but that's going to cost Mark Henry yet another point of fatigue. DIPAOLO in control here now as Henry rolls out of the ring. Stuff's happening on the arena floor now. And we have got shenanigans on the arena floor brought to you by Mark Henry. He rolls out of the ring, and Mark Henry has picked up a foreign object. He's got the ring bell. He is coming after ILIO DIPAOLO with the ring bell. And it is Mark Henry scoring a solid shot on ILIO DIPAOLO with the ring bell. That is going to leave a mark, and that is going to give Henry the advantage here as action goes back into the ring. Referee getting to hands and knees, still not back in action. World's strongest slam delivered by Mark Henry. ILIO DIPAOLO is down again. No referee here to count the pinfall. He may have gotten him, but the referee now is up to one knee trying to clear his head as Henry and DIPAOLO are going at it in the ring. Kurt Angle and VADER going at it at ringside. And at ringside, it is Kurt Angle who takes VADER down and locks him in the ankle lock. Angle has VADER in the ankle lock at ringside. Mark Henry with ILIO DIPAOLO in the ring. Henry, another world's strongest slam. Still no referee to count a pinfall. Now the referee crawls into the ring as Henry's trying to finish off DIPAOLO. He's going to go back to that second rope splash again, and he nailed it. He nailed it. VADER is tapping like crazy. Kurt Angle will not let him go. Mark Henry's going to go for yet another second rope splash. He's trying to kill ILIO DIPAOLO, I think. But on a roll of 10, that is an agility struggle. And ILIO DIPAOLO able to avoid the second rope splash by Mark Henry on the second attempt. And now it is a knee drop from DIPAOLO onto Mark Henry. Henry rolls out of the way of that. Henry with the reversal and a whip to the ropes. Coming off the ropes is DIPAOLO. And on a roll of 4, that is Henry setting his head too soon. And DIPAOLO grabs him and DDTs Henry face first onto the mat. Meanwhile, on the outside of the ring, VADER has finally broken free of the ankle lock. That is going to cost him a point of fatigue. DIPAOLO back in control with a running head ram into the turnbuckle. Mark Henry is hurt by that. And Henry follows up. He's going to attempt a figure 4 armbar. Another submission hold being attempted here. This is a choice C maneuver. Choice C, so he will need 9 or lower. And on a roll of 8, he connects on the figure 4 armbar. Henry still able to get to his feet and continue the match as DIPAOLO rolls over into a short arm scissors, continuing to work on the arm of Mark Henry. And now a big right hand delivered by DIPAOLO puts Henry on his keister. That is one massive keister on the ring. DIPAOLO now going for that running head ram into the turnbuckle. And Mark Henry is out of the ring once again. We've got all 4 men on the arena floor. This one has broken down. And it is Henry and VADER who get control of the action at ringside. But we're going to have a complete breakdown of this match. VADER now is up to something at ringside. It is VADER now setting up a table at ringside. And as VADER sets up the table, it is going to be Kurt Angle who gets the initiative role on the table. And he spears VADER through the table. No sooner did VADER get the table into the ring than Kurt Angle speared him, and now VADER is down. Henry and DIPAOLO still duking it out. Angle now with the Olympic slam got VADER over and down. The referee is not going to count a pin since they're not the legal men in the ring, but VADER just ate an Olympic slam. And now it is DIPAOLO with another running head ram into the turnbuckle. DIPAOLO back in control. He's going to try that figure 4 armbar yet again. This time he is not able to secure the armbar. And it is Mark Henry instead with a backbreaker that pounds ILIO DIPAOLO into the canvas. A wild one here. Henry now, world's strongest slam. Can Kurt Angle make the save? No. The pin roll here is 9 or lower, and on a roll of 9, he got him. Mark Henry has just pinned ILIO DIPAOLO after a wild 4-way battle in this contest here in New York City. Henry and DIPAOLO has got him pinned. And we're going to see if Henry will press the attack here. He is going to try and press the attack against ILIO DIPAOLO. And he is able to slap ILIO DIPAOLO. He's got him tied up in the ropes, and he is just slapping the face of ILIO DIPAOLO back and forth and back and forth. What a humiliating outcome for ILIO DIPAOLO. It doesn't look like he is injured, as Henry is still walking gingerly. But he has taken his pound of flesh out of ILIO DIPAOLO. We saw Kurt Angle trap Big Van Vader in the ankle lock at ringside. So all 4 of these men deeply engaged in this feud. And what I think the outcome is going to be here is that DIPAOLO and Angle have a title match lined up, a return match. And the officials have declared that Mark Henry and Big Van Vader will be barred from ringside for the rematch between Angle and ILIO DIPAOLO. But Henry and DIPAOLO have issues that are not yet finished. And I think no matter who wins that match between Angle and DIPAOLO, there's going to be another grudge match between ILIO DIPAOLO and Mark Henry on the horizon. All right. A big controversial event there. Very exciting as all 4 men mixed it up in a brutal grudge match. All right, more action in the chat room. It looks like our stream has stabilized. Was having some connection issues there earlier. Let's see, I think we had Cybernetico announced as the new Intercontinental Champion, and then attention turned to solo promoter Grant Bachoco and his new Liberty Bibberty commercial. I have not seen either of the official commercials. I don't watch a lot of TV. I did see a screening commercial on YouTube where Liberty Bibberty was I think he walked face first into the camera and knocked over the camera. And that was quite an entertaining watch. I'll probably have to watch more TV now to see those Liberty Bibberty commercials. And my brush with greatness. And yeah, thank you to Grant for sharing that with us, and congratulations on that opportunity. Gosh, we have got celebrities all over the place here. We've got a World Heavyweight Championship referee in the house and a nationwide celebrity, the voice of Liberty Bibberty. Oh, they're all on YouTube. Okay, I'll have to go watch more commercials then on YouTube. All right, back to action. We do have more matches to take place here in New York City. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect for this one. This is a number 1 contenders match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. The winner of this will move on to the August pay-per-view to take on the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers for the World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first out of Charlotte, North Carolina, standing at 6'1", weighing 243 pounds, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And his tag team his opponent, a former NWA World Champion and known to all as wrestling's worst nightmare out of Marieville, Quebec, Canada. Standing at 5'11", weighing 255 pounds, this is Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen, of course, the Ring of Honor card from back in 2012. The Ric Flair card is an interesting history. This was the very first set of what used to be called the UBU bootlegs. I think that was Underground Bootleg Universe or something. Rob Bobine started that off, and then William Harrison took it over for a while, and it has since gone defunct. But this first set I purchased in the Galacticon auction. That was kind of my introduction to the UBU. I didn't know Rob very well at the time, but it was Kevin Butcher who went to bat and said, "Yeah, Rob Dave is going to love these things, and he'll use them, and he'll make good use out of them." And it was Kevin Butcher who convinced Rob that I could be included in the UBU game universe, and that's got me access to some very, very high quality bootlegs over the years. So Kevin Butcher, once again, your influence is felt and appreciated by the Filsinger Games universe, as the Nature Boy Ric Flair moves out against Kevin Steen with a World Heavyweight Championship title match on the line. And as the men come together in the center of the ring, it is Kevin Steen who wins the opening initiative role and just drills Ric Flair with a hard elbow smash. Steen will have the power advantage in this match, as you might imagine, and of course Ric Flair with the agility advantage. And now Steen is going to come with a super kick. This is a choice D maneuver, choice D, so he will need a roll of 8 or lower to connect on this super kick, and on a roll of snake eyes, he nailed it. Right in the mush. And Nature Boy Ric Flair automatically staggers around the ring and drops face first onto the mat in a daze, and Flair rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on the arena floor, it is Ric Flair who wins the battle on the arena floor with a diving clothesline off of the ring apron. And down goes Kevin Steen. Will we see a disqualification here? Ooh, maybe. Another roll of 5, and Ric Flair will be disqualified right off of the get-go. And he will not be. And that would have been disappointing. No matter who you're rooting for, Steen or Flair, you don't want to see a match like this end in disqualification this early. And now it is Flair going for a pin using the ropes. His dirty tactics, and Steen able to kick out of that. Flair has won many matches with that and aggravated many more opponents, and Steen is already not very happy about that turn of events. And now the Nature Boy going to the sleeper hold. The sleeper hold, a choice H maneuver. He can hit it on an agility roll of 8. He can hit it on a death jump roll of B. He's going to try the death jump route, and on a roll of 6, Ric Flair has the sleeper hold locked in on Kevin Steen. Much better idea than Flair going to the top turnbuckle, because that never ends well. But now Steen fighting the effects of the sleeper hold, and he goes down to one knee. Flair stays on him, and Flair now with a big suplex, taking Steen down, goes for the quick cover. Steen again kicks out. But Ric Flair has been in control from the get-go in this match, and Flair now is going to go back to the sleeper hold, and once again he's got the sleeper hold latched in, and he may get a submission hold here on a roll of 3 or lower. And on a roll of 3, he got him. Nature Boy Ric Flair, by way of the sleeper hold, has defeated Kevin Steen to become the #1 contender for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. So congratulations to the Nature Boy. Woo! By way of the sleeper hold. Ric Flair, of course, well known for his cardiovascular conditioning. Kevin Steen, not so much. And Ric Flair used that to his advantage to turn the lights out on Kevin Steen and move ahead to a Nature Boy versus Nature Boy confrontation against Buddy Rogers at your August Heartland Championship Wrestling pay-per-view. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our main event of the evening. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This match is for the Butcher Legacy Championship. As we remember our good friend, gone too soon, taken too soon, Kevin Butcher. Many fun times back in the Ohio Posse days. And also while we're reflecting, as you may know, we also lost another great promoter this week or this month in Jim Steele. Jim Steele, one of the nicest people in all of the Filsinger Games universe. He was the guy that supplied all of the cards that anybody would ever need at Galacticon, whether it was a Champions card or a Legends card. You could go to Jim and he would set you right up. Very, very polite fellow. I never really had a close personal relationship with Jim, but he was one of the good guys of the Filsinger Games universe, and he is missed. So when you hit your knees tonight, shoot up a prayer for Jim Steele and for Kevin Butcher as well. And for those of you who know me personally or watch my Journey with Jesus videos, you're also aware that I too lost a family member a couple of weeks ago. My sister's husband passed away after a long battle with pancreatic cancer. Got to head over to Ohio for his celebration of life last Saturday, and we're heading back tomorrow to spend some more time with my sister in her grieving. So, yeah, gosh, heavy hearts all around. And so thank you for your thoughtfulness, for Jim Steele, for my brother-in-law, who we referred to as Uncle Pete, of course, for Kevin Butcher, and yes, fly high Butcher and fly high Jim Steele. And here we go with tonight's main event. Introducing first the challenger, out of Leeds, England. He stands at 5'7". He weighs 260 pounds. He is the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith. And his opponent is your reigning and defending Butcher Legacy champion out of Kansas City, Kansas. He stands at 6'4". He weighs 254 pounds. This is Bob Orton Sr. Right, so Davey Boy Smith from Expansion Pack 5. This is the singles version of Davey Boy Smith. -2 agility, -2 power. Very well balanced, very strong card. He should give Bob Orton a very good match tonight, as Davey Boy will have the advantage in both the agility and the power. Both these men 3 rated on the pin. Both these men with +2 finishers. So yeah, this should be a really good match between these two men. And thank you to Christopher Baker, who has put forward Davey Boy Smith for the challenge in celebration of his victory in the 2026 West Coast Galactic Cup Championship. Old Man Orton against Davey Boy Smith. And it is Davey Boy who will get the opening advantage. And he comes out with a monkey flip that takes Orton back to the canvas. Both men scramble to their feet. They come together in the center of the ring. And now it is Davey Boy with a backbreaker down attempted. And Bob Orton able to reverse that one. And on the level 1 reversal now, it is Bob Orton applying a smothering front face lock. Front face lock applied by Bob Orton. These two men feeling each other out in the opening stage of this match. And now Bob Orton with a hard punch to the side of the head. Davey Boy Smith is going to fire right back. And it is Davey Boy who takes Bob Orton down to the canvas, wraps him up, and lifts him high overhead in an elevated surfboard. That does not look the least bit comfortable to me. But Bob Orton is able to work his way free from that. Once again, they come together in the center of the ring. And Orton tries again to get that front face lock. But this time, Davey Boy neutralizes that. It does not work. Lots of reversals here. And now Orton's going to try a good old-fashioned elbow smash to the face. He's going to need 5 or lower to connect on that. And on a roll of 6, Davey Boy reverses that. And it is Davey Boy who dumps Bob Orton face first onto the turnbuckle. Bob Orton stunned by that maneuver, and so worked so well that Davey's going to do it again, dropping him face first onto the turnbuckle. Orton now stunned as Davey Boy comes at him, whipped to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Bob Orton Sr., and on a roll of 6, that's the drop down go the other way. And this time on a roll of 5, that is a running shoulder tackle delivered by Orton that takes Davey Boy down to the mat. Orton now in control with another whip to the ropes. Davey Boy coming off the ropes, and a big back body drop executed by Bob Orton that again puts Davey Boy Smith down on the canvas. Orton now goes for a big knee drop. Got him right on the forehead. Davey Boy slow to get to his feet. Orton stays on him with another big knee drop. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll here is 3, and on a roll of 10, Davey Boy kicks out. Bob Orton now in control against Davey Boy, and he is going to go up for, let's see, a hammerlock. This is a choice H maneuver, choice H. So he can hit a flying elbow drop on 6 or lower, or he can attempt a death jump against the rating of A. Well, Bob Orton is a champion's champion. He's going to go for broke with the death jump roll, and on a roll of 10, that is the agility struggle, and it is Davey Boy Smith who's going to win the agility struggle and shove Bob Orton down to the canvas. Now it's Davey Boy's turn to do some damage. He is going to pitch Bob Orton. He's not going to pitch Bob Orton out of the ring. That would be a bad idea. So instead, Davey Boy Smith is going to roll up and drop the leg on Bob Orton. So Orton tried to roll away and get out of the ring. Davey Boy Smith prevented that with a leg drop. Davey Boy now back in control. He's going to attempt the twisting power slam. This is a choice D maneuver, choice D. So to hit level 3, he is going to need a roll of 8 or lower on choice D. And on a roll of 7, he hits the twisting power slam. And Bob Orton is hurt. He's getting up to one knee. Davey Boy's on him with another big leg drop, keeping him down. Davey Boy now with a big superplex that takes Bob Orton down to the canvas hard. Orton is down and Davey Boy is in control. Davey Boy now is going to, again, prevent Bob Orton from escaping the ring. And instead, Davey Boy is going to go back to that face drop onto the turnbuckle. And, gosh, even the turnbuckle is starting to look like the face of Bob Orton after so many of those drops. Now Davey Boy with another big superplex. Orton rolling up to his feet, showing great resilience here. Davey Boy stays on him. Another big superplex. Orton will not stay down. Davey Boy coming at him again. A third big superplex. And for the third time, Bob Orton is getting back to his feet. He is earning the respect of Davey Boy Smith with his resilience. But Davey Boy comes at him with another twisting power slam. And he again got him. And this time Orton is down and rolling out of the ring and down to the arena floor. It's shenanigans time for Bob Orton, and on a roll of 5, that is the A5 is the double DQ roll. Will Orton be disqualified? Maybe. Will Orton be disqualified? No. How about Davey Boy? His DQ is a 4. That ain't going to happen. So now we go odd even. And on a roll of 1, it is Davey Boy who wins the brawl on the arena floor and slams the head of Bob Orton into the ring apron. Boy, I'm telling you, Bob Orton's head is having a tough time of it tonight. He's been bashed into the turnbuckle 3 times and now into the ring apron, which, as we all know, is the hardest part of the ring. So Davey Boy back in control, a gorilla press slam. And down to the canvas hard again goes Bob Orton. Again, Orton rolling out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And again, Davey Boy beats him to the punch and Irish whips Bob Orton into the ring barricade. Orton crashing hard now, face first into the barricade. The face of Bob Orton has been imprinted everywhere around the Hammerstein Ballroom tonight. And now another big gorilla press slam by Davey Boy. Davey Boy follows that up with another big superplex, and Orton is again hurt. But Orton again will not stay down. Davey Boy just can't seem to find that pin rating, and now it is a whip to the ropes from Davey Boy Smith. Off the ropes comes Bob Orton, and on a roll of 4, Davey Boy drops his head too soon. Orton comes off and dumps Davey Boy with a big DDT onto the mat. Orton now in control. He's going to go for the pile driver. The pin roll here is 6 or lower. And on a roll of 6, he got him. Wow, just like that. Davey Boy Smith controlled most of that match. He made one mistake, and Bob Orton made him pay, planting Davey Boy Smith face down onto the canvas with a DDT. Before Davey Boy could get to his feet, the pile driver was delivered and the 3 count was completed, and Bob Orton remains your Butcher Legacy Champion. So congratulations to Davey Boy Smith for putting up a great fight. Bob Orton Sr. is still your heavyweight champion in the Butcher Legacy Championship division. But his reign may be coming to an end before you know it. As we mentioned earlier tonight, a tournament was held in Velvet Wrestling to name a new number 1 contender. That tournament was won by Andre the Giant. So Andre the Giant next in line for a shot at the Butcher Legacy Championship. Bob Orton Sr. is going to have to bring his A game to the match against Andre the Giant if he wants to hold the gold. All right, we are done here tonight. Thank you to everybody for checking us out, Mark Ferguson, and thank you, Mark, for your kind words and your prayers. I appreciate that. Bear 805, Mark Ferguson 123. The solo promoter Grant Bachoco here with us tonight. Neil Lau here with us tonight. Blaine Shores. Blaine asking if that FLAIR card was still available to purchase. And Grant, I don't know if you have any inside scoop on that. I don't know what became of those cards. I think, or did those land with perhaps Chad Olson? I don't know, because Will Harrison took over that gig for a while, and then life caught up with Will, and he wasn't able to keep that up. So these cards are no longer being produced in the form of any new sets, but whether any of the legacy sets are still available for purchase, I do not know. So keep an eye out. Grant, if you know anything, then please do weigh in. Captain Carl, 8230. Bobby, thank you for coming out tonight. David Cheslinski was here tonight. Barbara 113 was here earlier tonight. Referee James Lawrence III was here tonight. Ivan Diesel. Or is that J Van Diesel? That's J Van Diesel. Was able to see NWA last night. Thank you for coming in, J Van Diesel. And scrolling. Did we catch everybody? Alan Capolitano. Philip Reynolds here earlier in the night. And I believe that is everybody. So thank you all for... And thank you all for tuning in here tonight. It is always a pleasure to have folks on board. Thank you one and all for tuning in this week. I will be out of town this week, and there will not be a midweek show. There will not be a midweek highlight reel. We're getting back late Friday night, so I should be able to get on the airwaves next weekend with another episode of Heartland Championship Wrestling live from the Dave Cave. So thank you all for tuning in once again. That's our stream, and I am out of here.